Why am I here? I thought I was going to see the president. What's up, homegirl?
I'm Lady Gaga and I'm here to talk to you. We all know you're in here, well, because you're my stalker. But that's in the past now. I'm going to teach you a couple of things on government, so you kind of know your rights and mine. It's illegal to stalk, you know. The United States Supreme Court receives many appeals, but it hears and rules on a small percentage of cases each year. Numerous factors influence the actions of the court, both in deciding to hear a case and in the decisions it hands down.
Judicial review is the power of the courts to rule on the constitutionality of laws, acts, statutes, executive orders.
Yes. It gives the court the power to overturn laws passed by Congress or legislative branch as well as actions taken by the president or executive branch.
Also, the court can grant a writ of certiorari, which is a common law issued by a superior court to one of inferior jurisdiction demanding the record of a particular case. They do this by referring it to a lower court. See, I did good in school.
Oh yeah. Well then explain how stare decisis and judicial activism influence decisions made by individual justices when deciding cases heard by the court.
I don't know, dude.
Stare decisis influences justices to defer to prior Supreme Court decisions, and judicial activism does it by justices being more likely to strike down laws and policies as unconstitutional.
Now it's your turn. Nominees for the presidency of two major parties are chosen by delegates at national conventions. Define two methods used by states to choose delegates to party conventions.
One of the methods used by states to choose delegates to party conventions is open primary. Open primary is a primary election in which any voter can cast a ballot in any party's primary. Another method is caucus, which is a meeting or gathering of members of a political party where members deliberate and choose from the list of those seeking the presidential nomination.
Republican Party rules permit winner-take-all primaries. Give me one consequence of this.
Republican Party rules permit winner-take-all primaries. One consequence of this rule for the Republican nomination process is that it shortens the time frame for candidates wrapping up the nomination.
The Democratic Party has used superdelegates in the presidential nominating process since 1984. Do you know why?
The use of superdelegates increases the influence of party leaders in the Democratic nomination process. Because party leaders are now assured a role in the nomination process, regardless of which candidate they support.
Look at you, Miss Smarty Pants. Explain why a candidate's strategy to win the nomination is often different from the strategy developed to win the general election.
Candidates' strategy to win the nomination is often different from the strategy developed to win the general election, because the electorate in the primary election is different from the electorate in the general election. Now it's your turn. For each of the presidential powers I say, explain one way that congressional decision-making is affected by that power. Veto power, power to issue executive orders, and the power as commander-in-chief. Go.
The Constitution of the United States creates a government of separate institutions that share power rather than a government that delegates power exclusively to a single branch. Frequently, this means that presidents and Congress struggle with each other. One way that congressional decision-making is affected by veto power is that it prevents or discourages congressional action if the president makes a statement of clear opposition or threatens a veto. The power to issue executive orders is affected by this because Congress avoids taking action on controversial issues. Power as commander-in-chief is also affected by congressional decision-making because Congress engages in oversight activities. Bam.
Good job. Now answer this. For each of the congressional powers I say, explain one way that presidential decision-making is affected by that power.
Easy. One way that presidential decision-making is affected by legislative power oversight is that presidents minimize the number or extent of actions that might draw congressional scrutiny. Senate advice and consent power is affected by this also because Presidents weigh the implications of making controversial or ideological nominations or appointments. Budgetary power is affected by presidential decision-making because presidents consider budget items or programs that are important to members of Congress. That's right, Major.
So, you can go now.